Okay, so in this video, you're going to learn what it is for an inductive argument to be defeated, and you're also going to finally hear about what this given no other info about the topic part is, and the definition of an inductively forceful argument. Remember this definition. Okay, so first of all, let's look at an example of an inductively forceful argument. Premise 1. Most Koreans, that's me, okay, are not professors. Okay, I mean, most people aren't professors either, but anyway, premise 2, Dr. Moon is Korean. So should we conclude Dr. Moon is a professor? Sorry, is not a professor. Well, now we know this isn't valid, but can we at least say it's forceful? So we can conclude, okay, probably I'm not a professor. But that's a little bit weird. I mean, all of you know that I'm a professor because I'm your professor. So hopefully you know that by now. So what's going on here? Well, this argument is inductively forceful. It's not valid. And if the premises are true, then given no other info about the topic, the conclusion is probably true. Okay. If the premises are true, most Koreans are not professors and Moon is Korean, then probably Dr. Moon is not a professor. But here is where this part finally comes in. Given no other info about the topic, the conclusion is probably true. Okay. Now, in your case, you have other information about the topic. Okay. The other information about the topic is that you actually know me. You have you know more than just what's here. You know more than just that most Koreans are not professors and that I'm Korean. You also know that I'm a professor, and specifically, I'm your professor. So that's why this little segment is there. Okay. Now, with that in mind. I can introduce the idea of an argument getting defeated, and specifically an inductively forceful argument getting defeated. So here, I'll just write this on the board. Okay, so an inductively forceful argument is defeated equals, okay, it's defeated for S. So it is person relative. We'll talk about that more in a bit. Equals S reasonably believes the premises but reasonably rejects the conclusion. Okay. An inductively forceful argument is defeated for a person equals the person reasonably believes the premises but reasonably rejects the conclusion. Okay, so in this argument here, all of you watching this reasonably believe the premises, okay, but you reasonably reject the conclusion that I'm not a professor. And that's because you have other information about the topic. Now, let me draw attention again to this 4S. So inductive forceful defeat is person relative because it's person relative depending on whether you have extra information about me. So take a person who doesn't know anything about Dr. Moon, me. Okay. For them, they'll look at this and they'll go, okay, it does follow that probably Dr. Moon is not a professor. So for them, it would be reasonable to accept the conclusion of this inductively forceful argument. But that's not true for you because you have an extra information that I'm your professor. So for you, this argument is defeated. Okay, so that's the idea of defeat and how it's relative to persons. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to the next video.